Hi guys, so behind me here is the BMW X7, now locally assembled in Malaysia. Before this, the CBU model was priced at, well, upwards of 800,000 ringgit. Now, in CKD format, this flagship BMW SUV, challenger of the Mercedes GLS, can be yours for 670,000 ringgit thereabouts. So quite a significant drop in pricing, and appearance wise not much has changed between this and the CBU model. Of course, they have tweaked some features here and there, but largely BMW has kept similar levels of equipment. They have also maintained the design pure excellence exterior. They've decided not to go M Sport with this. They've gone design pure excellence, to give this car a more luxurious kind of look. To be honest, the styling overall, however, it's a challenging car to look at. It's not a naturally pretty one, all right, but yeah, it has presence, no doubts about it. It has presence, and I think BMW has spec'd this car very conservatively in a way. They're offering this exclusively in the Malaysian market with the 40i engine. That is, of course, the 3-litre inline-6 B58, making about 320 horsepower. I think BMW could have been a bit more adventurous and spec'd in the option of a V8 as well. Now, I get the idea of putting the 3-litre engine as a, because it is, in terms of road tax, overall price taxation burden, right? The 3-litre engine is a sweet spot, but the X7 sits in a segment whereby the consumers can afford the road tax of a 4-litre engine. But yes, it's great to have the 3-litre here as an entry level to the range, but I do hope that BMW will eventually add the 50i version as well for our market. So appearance wise, now you get that big grille, you get laser lights, and of course under the design pure excellence trim you get a generous helping of chrome around the grille as well as at the edges of the bumper, satin chrome at the lowest edge, and you see down there the radar module. This car has ADAS, of course, although it is a slightly down spec from the one in the CBU model. You lose a few features. You lose the lane keep assist, lane centering assist, but if you look at the steering wheel, all right, you still have, you still have adaptive cruise control, so not all is lost. Okay, 21-inch alloy wheels, which in my opinion looks quite conservatively sized in the bulk of the X7, but styling wise it's a very nice, very pleasant looking set of wheels. And I mean, look at the side profile of this thing. It's humongous. It's a box, really. So you get, chrome lining underlining the silhouette of the car all the way to the back bumper, right? Even if you look at the back, man, this thing is tall. There's no doubts that the X7 here is taller and it is wide. Okay, but the rear design, I would say, is quite neat. BMW has went the sensible route. They have not overburdened the design with unnecessary details. Just a chrome strip that connects the two tail lights, right? Then rectangular exhausts. That's it. So very, very stately kind of design. So now let's open the tailgate. Okay, so like the X5, in the segment below it, there's a split tailgate. So the up one is powered. What about the down one? Okay, so you can press this to drop the lower half of the tailgate. Okay, can this move up? Well, you can raise this to review the mechanism. Okay, this would be great for cleaning. All right, now let's look under here. So there is a very generous space below there. Okay, this is where the tonneau cover is stowed away, and yeah, so it looks like It looks like an opening for a spare tire well, even though BMW gives run flat tires and generally omits spare tires in most markets. Some markets, I think they still get the option of a spare wheel, maybe markets like India, for example. So here the seats have remote release. So you have max up. Let's see, what does max suitcases mean? I think max suitcases means you drop all the seats. And wow, so at one touch of the button, all the seats go down, and there's a light here that flashes the progress. And this is great because not only does it make a great showpiece, it also makes my life as the reviewer a lot more convenient, because I don't have to go one by one and open each seat. I can just show at one press of the button, pop, fold everything down. So there's this compartment here, which, well, I'm not going to explore further here. Okay, so open this for emergencies, I guess. There's a 12-volt socket here, right? So yeah, so you can also, or you can choose to raise the seats individually, and there you go. Wow, good. I like this car, man. This is damn cool. So max seating, okay, the sign is obvious. So you see the light flashing slowly, the seats. I like the fact that, you know, the seats come up one by one. It's quite a spectacle. Now I wonder what is this though. This I believe is to drop the headrest, because honestly this headrest can be quite distracting when you are driving. So now if you were to drop the two rearmost rows and use this as a 5-seater, this is the amount of luggage space you have. Very, very generous. But hey, you know, I'm going to need maximum seating capacity for the next part of the review. So we will come to the front. All right. Now, the seats feature adjustment. This. All right. So that one drops the seat. So you even have this. Wow. Wow. Okay, this will take some getting used to, I reckon. All right. So you can fold the seats down from either the rear cargo, or you can do it here. Right? So let's do this instead. So this moves the seat forward to give you access. Ah, this is cool. All right. So I am step inside. Okay. Now let me come over here. I'm 170 centimeters tall, and I've got about 4 fingers of headroom above me. Okay, lean here is great. It's great amount of lean. Leg room is all right. Forget about thigh support. That's not what you don't get that in most 3-rows SUVs. Let's show you the great effort here to dress up, you know, even the armrest for the 3rd-row passengers here. This is where the tonneau cover goes in, and you can raise this. Okay, you get a hook here, and you get a USB-C port here. That arrangement is mirrored on the left side. All right, so I shall come. So getting in and out of the 3rd row, not difficult at all. Now we drop the front row, the middle row seats again. Very elaborate process. Okay, let's come in here. Well, terrific sitting position given the fact that this is, you know, a 7-seater SUV with the second row needing to fold very with quite flexible arrangements, right? So, well, very comfortable, good lean angle, good thigh support, good leg room. So fabulous to be chauffeur driven here, I would say. From here you have 2 screens. You've got rear quad zone climate control here, 2 USB-C ports below, and another USB-C port, USB-C port, HDMI. Okay, and here you have the powered sunshades and powered window controls. All right, pillar mounted blowers. Okay, so let's check out the armrest. Very simple armrest. Okay, and yeah, pops up very nicely. Very solid mechanism here. And we shall go in front and check out the driver's seat. Right, so firstly you can see even here as well you have the option of adjusting the rear seats from the driver's seat button here. Boot opening, lock and unlock button available on both sides. Not for the rear passengers, strangely, because I would assume that BMW, when they built this, they would have given serious thought to this car being used as a chauffeur driven vehicle. So to not have that under consideration is a surprise. The cabin here is familiar, like if you have recently been in the 5 Series or the 7 Series or any recent generation BMW. Now this panel, all right, where the transmission selector and the iDrive now merge into one, this same panel is used in everything from the 2 Series to 3 Series to 5 Series upwards. It's just that, you know, as you move up the food chain, your selection of materials get progressively better. And here in the X7 you get the bomb. All right, you get a crystal gear knob with the X and it's sitting inside there. Even the iDrive rotary knob also has this crystal like effect. Okay, this nice wood finish trim here. Great compartmentalization of space. This is a wireless charger, cup holder, and then there's another deeper, well, just a storage bay, but all these surfaces rubberized so things don't slide around. Open up, there's a USB-C port here, quite nice deep center console, and well, you got the center screen here. Okay, the aircon controls are still buttons, which is great. Okay, compared to the Golf 8 recently that I tested, you know, which everything was touch surface. Having physical tech, it's nice to see BMW still give us, you know, certain functions controlled by actual tactile buttons. Even you see here this panel, okay, even all these, now first there are indentations, of course, to demarcate the location of each control, and on top of that you can press it down. Okay, there is that tactile response to confirm to you that you have selected, you know, you have pressed something, you have activated or deactivated something. There's the glove box in there. Now this screen, well, you see this in all BMWs now, so no need to elaborate further on this. So yeah, so let's go into this is the driving assist system configuration. You can adjust front collision warning, lane departure warning, lane change warning. All right, and as I mentioned earlier, you have adaptive cruise control here as well. So we go back to the home of the iDrive screen, and you can run through some apps. So you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, carrying car. Wow. All right, back, driving information, vehicle status, experience modes. So you have executive, expressive, well-being. All this basically controls the whole ambient selection, the ambient setting of the vehicle. All right, so I would say overall a very luxuriously appointed cabin, lots of clever touches. And check this out, so there's the sunroof here, We remember seeing this from the 7 Series. This is quite a spectacle at night, whereby you look at all these little elements. Okay, there are LEDs at the side of the sunroof. So at night, when the LEDs shine, these elements here reflect the LED individually and make it look like, you know, a little virtual star field. It's quite a spectacle. Very, very nice. And yeah, I think overall a very nice, well built, well appointed cabin. I think they could have done with nicer grade of plastics in certain sections, like here for example, here, but then again, nothing much to complain about, I would say, in the context of recent BMWs. Maybe I would say they could have chosen a lighter color, maybe a black and brown two-tone color, to give the cabin an even more luxurious ambiance, because as it is right now from the outside, the X7 looks nice, looks stately, but when you come inside, it's, you know, a whole sea of black. All right, and which is the play safe option lah, okay, for cabin color selection in our market. All right, so driving off in the X7. Now, this car, despite the BMW badge, this really is not the last word in sportiness. Now, it handles competently for a large, you know, barge-like SUV, but don't expect it to string corners even like an X5, let alone a 5 Series or a 7 Series. The engine, the 3-liter B58 engine, so far in my other experiences with this engine, testing it in the X5, in the G30 5 Series, the M340i, it's a wonderful engine, smooth, you know, and lovely power delivery. But here in the X7, in all honesty, there are times that this engine does feel overwhelmed by the bulk of the vehicle that it is tasked to propel. Now, it's not to say that this engine lacks the grunt. It doesn't. I mean, if you give it enough of a boot full of a throttle, you can get the X7 going at a pretty decent clip. But if you need to summon explosive kind of acceleration, that is when you find that the engine is needing to crank up a few revs more than it otherwise would have needed if it was instead a big lumbering V8. So yeah, so I mean, to reiterate my point, alright, it's the X7, the 3-liter engine is an adequate engine, but in all honesty, to really match up to the sense of occasion that one would expect at this price range, I think BMW should have given buyers the option of a V8. You know, yes, have this 3-liter inline 6 as a main seller if you like, but that V8 option needs to be there, or a plug-in hybrid like the X5. Because think about it, you know, right now in the BMW Malaysia lineup, the X5 is more powerful than the X7. Yeah, so that part of it also, and yeah, and come think about it, a plug-in hybrid would also be a great powertrain setup for this car, because you have the electric motor stepping in, alright, to really help out in the stop and go traffic, you know, especially if you need to kick, you know, a rapid surge of acceleration. The electric motor can step in, give that initial boost. Once you've accumulated enough momentum, then the 6-cylinder engine can take it the rest of the way. Now, overall, right, if you are shopping for a luxury SUV in about the 6 X7 is really not a bad choice, but you come to this, the positioning of this vehicle is quite obviously skewed towards more skewed in the direction of luxury. All right, whereby personally, I think if I were to be shopping for SUV at this price range, I think something with the abilities of a Cayenne appeals more to me. Well, yes, it's two row seats, but I think the driving experience would definitely be has a bit more of a sportier taste, not significantly less luxurious, although I think it's quite evident that the X7 here positions itself as the more luxury, more stately, more comfort oriented, more elegant alternative to the Cayenne, which then brings me back to another point. I think BMW should have spec'd an interior color combo other than all black to underline that fact. But at this point in time, if you are in that price bracket, you're looking for something with a pure luxury slant. The X7 is the only viable option because, well, Mercedes is not locally assembling the GLS, and the Cayenne is obviously catered for drivers with slightly sportier taste.